Hi everybody, I'm John Rivera and I am with Gregg Fous, and if you are a real estate agent, real estate investor, or even have a passion for real estate, you're going to want to stay tuned for the Learn and Grow series with Gregg Fous. Gregg, you've had an impressive resume in your career, but this past March you had a watershed moment in your career when you joined the second largest broker in the U.S., EXP Realty. You said about your new job, you said, quote, "Never in the past 18 years could I offer to agents what is available to my team now," unquote. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, I really was speaking as a broker owner. I've owned my own brokerage since 2001 and really didn't spend a very long time not being a broker owner. And I was speaking to those owners that are struggling in this environment to give all the tools that the big boys can give to their agents. And because of the expanse of EXP, the national presence of EXP, and their structure, they can not only give the tools, but give very flexible tools. They don't have this huge overhead. So as technology changes, and trust me, EXP Realty already is a disruptor, but if something comes to disrupt even that technology, they can with agility move and provide team leaders such as myself the tools that they otherwise wouldn't have the time to find, the money to buy, the ability to teach and support those tools. That's really what I was speaking about.
You mentioned the word disruptor. I've heard that quite a few times. I'd say it's the word of the year when you think of everything and every aspect of life today. Describe what you mean by disruptor.
Well, something that disrupts what you believe the pattern of growth will be. And if you were in the retail business, you know that Amazon was a huge disruptor. When Glenn Sanford had this vision 10 years ago of EXP, he envisioned a disruption in the real estate business. Zillow's been a disruptor. EXP is now a disruptor. If we go back, let's just talk a little bit of history. One of the first big disruptors in the real estate brokerage business was Century 21. Century 21, you may not remember this, but I do, the Gold Jackets, they were the first franchise. And the local real estate companies had their mantra was, do business locally, not with those national franchises. They disrupted how business was going to happen. Now, most real estate agents are with a franchise. Another disruptor in that business was RE/MAX, a more agent-centric company that only hired. I don't know this for sure, but when I was approached by RE/MAX was, well, we only hire experienced agents, real estate to the max. Then Keller Williams came along with a profit-sharing model. That was the next disruptor in the real estate business. Now EXP comes along with Glenn Sanford's vision of let's be what Netflix was to Blockbuster, was Amazon was to retail, EXP is to the brick and mortar real estate business.
Gregg, one of the things that jumped out at me is that EXP offers an exit strategy for their employees. Can you talk a little about that?
Sure. Yeah, an exit strategy is important for anybody that has a career. And as real estate agents, we're all independent contractors. And real estate agents are good at a lot of things. One of the things they're not good at is saving money. So what EXP has done is put a couple of features into their program, most notably the ability to share revenue, and secondly, the ability to build equity and ownership. Every single agent at EXP Realty that has had at least one sale is an owner of the company, because upon their first sale, they're given shares in the company. When I give a presentation in my lunch and learns, I'll ask the question with a bunch of agents. Hey, raise your hand if you own any shares in your company. The only people that raise their hand are the ones that started their company or they already work for EXP. The giving of shares is just one of three ways that, or earning shares, the agent earns shares and they're given the shares by EXP, one of three ways they can gain ownership in the company. By the way, there is a fourth way. When I first heard about EXP and got the full grasp of what they were doing, I went to my broker and bought stock. I got the vision. Anyway, we talked about the ability to earn shares. You can also, from every stock and from every sale, opt to take 5% of that commission, and the company will sell you shares at 20% below the market value. And that's huge. The ability to build wealth and build your assets while you're working for a company. And you asked about, I think, the other thing that makes us rather unique is the ability to get health insurance. As independent contractors, we need to shop on our own for health insurance. EXP put into play a plan that is they negotiated with some suppliers, and they've set up a concierge level type of service that will allow agents to buy health insurance directly from EXP. Hi, this is Gregg Fous. If you have a passion for real estate, you want to learn, you want to grow, stay tuned and watch more of these videos, and do me a favor and click like in the link below. I always love comments from my viewers. If you've got questions or you want to set up a meeting with me, or better yet, you want to become part of the Fous real estate team, message me.